Today's collectible spot, we are having a look at the Yamato USA Fantasy Figure Gallery, the Wonder Woman by Louis Royo. Now, Spot's already had a look at Wonder Woman from the Fantasy Figure Gallery from Yamato USA, but we wanted to have also a look at the Entertainment Earth exclusive, which might seem like it's just basically a swap out of shield and sword for the lasso and open hand that we saw before. But you know, cosmetically, there's a lot more going on than just that, and all the more reason we want to have a look at this in this review as well. Wonder Woman comes with a series of accessories, a certificate of authenticity, a name-numbered plate, display base, and art card. I picked up this one, and I picked also the figure that we already had a look at from the folks over at 1409 Collectibles, a great online store if you guys are looking to pick up statues, 6-scale figures, all the high-end premium things. I'll put the link down below if you guys want to head over and check them out. You can also head over to www.yamatotoysusa.com if you want to check out not only the DC properties, but they're also producing fantasy figure statues as well. For your side box art, you can probably see, if you remember the other review, how the outfit has slightly changed on this rendition of Wonder Woman. Especially like the torso area is slightly a different decoration. Spot will do a comparison between the two. And finally, for the back of your box, you can see some of the other, well, this is exactly what I'm talking about, some of the other fantasy figures. Now, they do have like a Catwoman, a Wonder Woman, and a Harley Quinn. I'd like to get my hands on the Harley Quinn there. But they are also known for a lot of their fantasy releases as well. There's Ritual, Dead Moon. There's the Malifie, Time, Lilith. There's Black Tinkerbell, The Touch of Ice, Malifie, Time, Luz. And then there's also Medusa's Gaze. A good, really great looking collectibles. I'd like to eventually get around to maybe reviewing those and showcasing some of them, some of the other things that are coming from Yamato Toys USA. Of course, I do have to stress this, as stressing with the previous Wonder Woman, that it is recommended for ages 15 and up. It is clearly not a toy. It's unsuitable for anyone under the age of 15. That's actually what it says at the bottom of the box. Spot's going to take himself a break and get this completely out of box, but when we come back, we're getting a better look at the Fantasy Figure Gallery, the Entertainment Earth exclusive of the Wonder Woman Louis Royo statue. There's more heading your way. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. So this part of the review, we're essentially starting in the same place as we started before. We've got our display base, we've got our accessories, and we've got Wonder Woman, to which we will put on the display stand. Before we do that, though, let's have a look at some of the other contents that would have come included with the Wonder Woman statue. You get your certificate of authenticity, Fantasy Figure Gallery, DC Comics Collection, Wonder Woman by Louis Royo, Entertainment Earth exclusive. This one also is in more limited quantities, as it's 187 out of 500. The other one, if you remember, was out of 2,500, so of course availability on that one would be a little bit easier. Something also that slightly changes too is the side card that also came included with Wonder Woman as well. And that is slightly varied. In fact, I have the other card still here. You can see how the two differ from one another. This one is more a painted version of the statue. This one is more a sketched and ink-filled or ink-colored version of the card. Essentially that, and the fact that the hands are slightly different, holding different objects, the cards are almost similar in style. And then as well, the other thing that comes included with the Entertainment Earth exclusive is that she comes with a gold Wonder Woman placard, saying Fantasy Figure Gallery, DC Comics Collection, Louis Royo, as well as the same numbered out of 500 as the provided certificate of authenticity. So much like the same way that we started the review on the other Wonder Woman with the display stand, let's have a look at the display stand for the Entertainment Earth exclusive as well. The sculpt is exactly the same. There's nothing different between the two. In fact, right on down to the fact that the sword that comes included with her as well also fits that same groove. It appears, though, a little bit darker in color, though. It's the same series of grays and a darker gray wash, but like the overall tone seems to come across a little bit darker, though, in contrast. The other accessories, as I've already indicated, she does also come with her sword. Same sword, or roughly the same sword. This one comes across a little bit darker in color. We'll do a contrast or comparison between the two just so you guys can see. But this does come across a slightly darker hilt and darker blade than the previous looked at Wonder Woman statue. This version also comes with the Lasso of Truth, however, more tied up. It's going to be sitting at the side of her leg versus in her hand of the previous release. When it comes to your hand options, Wonder Woman has closed fists in both cases. Well, that's not 100% true. She has a partially closed fist for holding the sword, and then she's got a closed fist for holding the shield. Both arms, like the other Wonder Woman, is also going to be magnetized, so adding them to the Wonder Woman statue is going to be very easy. But maybe what we should do first is we're going to take the Wonder Woman statue and we're going to attach her to the display stand. It is exactly the same format or same procedure as the other Wonder Woman. Take the plug or the peg, make sure that the hole is at the back there, and make sure this is obviously facing the front. Take your statue, take Wonder Woman, and slide her into that post. Hardest part, in fact, if anything, is just lining her up to that post. And once that's done, then we can go ahead and add the arms. So with the other Wonder Woman, what we had over here, if you remember, was she was holding the lasso. In this case, though, she's going to be holding the shield, which, as easy as the other one, it simply just magnetizes into place. Very, very easy. We're going to go ahead now and put the other arm on the other side of Wonder Woman, but just before we do that, it's probably easiest that we incorporate the sword first. Yamato luckily have had it where you can take the hilt, the end of the hilt off, so you can easily slide it then into her hand just like that, and reapply the base or bottom of the hilt. Sits very secure. Then you can go ahead and attach the hand or the arm to the underside of her hair. And again, the hardest part is just trying to get it around her hair, and magnetizes in place just like the other. And there you have now a completed Wonder Woman. Well, that's not 100% correct. What we also need to do still is we need to incorporate the Lasso of Truth, which very easily slides into the side. Now we've got a completed Wonder Woman statue, and she looks absolutely stunning. Obviously, though, you're going to want to see a comparison between how the Entertainment Earth looks to the regular release. Let's bring the regular release in now. Immediately, you're probably seeing where the differences lie in the Wonder Woman. Of course, from a cosmetic standpoint, the color, the tone between the two fleshes, between the regular release and the Entertainment Earth release, is very noticeable. This Wonder Woman has a much more tanned, as you can see, complexion, both in her torso and her legs, where this Wonder Woman then comes across then a little bit more on the paler side. This one obviously is wearing or holding the lasso. This one now holding the shield. This one is holding the sword. This one has the open palm. Let's have a look at their faces. Initially, I did think that the faces were different, and I can really chalk a lot of that up simply just to the darker tone that they've given her face over here. It kind of gives her a more broody, more shadowed looking face, although the face, looking at the two, they do appear to be the exact same. This one also does have, because it doesn't have the shading around the eyes, it comes across a little bit more feminine, I feel, whereas this one comes across more like a warrior version of Wonder Woman. But as you can see, though, the faces are not really different from one another. The boots have changed from the Entertainment Earth version to the regular release version. This one very much comes across more so as, for me, a traditional Wonder Woman costume. This one seems slightly varied. And replacing out the pointed tips of the boots, they've now swapped it out for more circular and not panel line, but a lining down the middle section of the boot. Also, when it comes to the top more over here has the fanned out eagle winged look, whereas this one has a almost more gladiatorial or gladiator style of boost top. Again, going back to the bustier top, I guess, or the top that Wonder Woman here is sporting, you can see how it is different between the two. One has more of the eagle wings, one has more a refined gladiator style, and I say gladiator, but more of a gladiator style halter or bustier top. Touching back though on a point that I had mentioned before, you can see how also the display stands are different. Not different by sculpt, but different that this one has a darker tone, a darker color to it. You could really, because they use the same footprint on their stands, you really could swap the stands around if you want to have this a more darker colored stand on this one, because like the complexion and the tone of the skin is darker. You could have the darker display stand on that side instead. I'm sure the other question that you probably are asking yourself too is, well, if you can swap out the display stands, can you simply swap the arms out if you want to give this Wonder Woman the sword and the shield? I thought that same question as well, so what I did was I took the arm off of the one Wonder Woman, like so, and I took off the other, and I noticed one thing. This arm doesn't fit over here, and it's upon closer inspection that hopefully you can see one arm right there has, let me just see if I can describe it here. It goes up on an angle. It's almost like a square that's had the corner cut off, if you can hopefully see it. This one, this other arm here, has just a standard square. Just a standard square. See if we can actually get it on this. Well, that's the one that we had. Let's see if we can put this one on this one. Yeah, see, now that one fits because it has a bigger plug or a bigger hole than the plug itself. It's just this one here that you can't swap out because it doesn't fit the proper dimensions. It doesn't have the same shape, which is kind of disappointing because I would have loved to have had this Wonder Woman sporting the shield. Although the coloring of her fist would vary from the coloring of the rest of her body. Spot really likes both of these statues for different reasons. This one I think just feels a little softer, a little bit more approachable as Wonder Woman. I do like also the top portion of her, and I love the fact that she's got this sword and the shield. This one, on the other hand, because it's got that darker coloring of her skin tone, she just comes across more like the warrior to me. The hair, though, pretty much exactly the same. Again, the face is the same, but again, changing out skin tones just ever so slightly. You can see how it does drastically change the overall appearance and just really the overall expression of her face, even though really the expression is exactly the same on both. If you are interested in picking up either one of these, whether you pick up the Entertainment Earth exclusive, although I have to admit it is a little bit more rare to come across, or you want to get the regular release, you can pick up either or over at 1409 Collectibles, where I did pick up both of these. Not only do they carry statues, they carry 6-scale figures, they carry other statues as well. They have really a great, fantastic website if you want to head over there and check it out. In the meantime, today's collectible spot, we were having a look at, really not technically this one, because we already had a look at this Wonder Woman, but we were having a look at the Entertainment Earth version of Wonder Woman from Yamato, USA. And again, if you want to check them out, you can go to www.yamatotoysusa.com. Again, today's collectible spot, we were looking at the Yamato USA Fantasy Figure Gallery. This was the Entertainment Earth exclusive of the Wonder Woman statue. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more collectible spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.